Remember, if you want to become a member, you get to see these videos as they are filmed, edited, and posted, and you get the early access to all these videos immediately. And it starts as little as $2 a month on YouTube. In this video, we are not going to be making sandwiches, but I don't know if who's been keeping up with calendar days, but guess what? It's time. It's time to get the car prepped up to go racing. And we are due for an oil change. Good oil level, but yeah, looking at that tint, the tint of that oil, we cooked it. We cooked it good. Whose tools are those? Track prep for today for the Mustang is going to be in preparation for the Victoria, Texas race. You remember that street race we talked about? Yeah, it's actually happening. It's going to happen on November 15th. And basically, we're legally road racing on public roads. This is going to be at the Riverside Park. It's going to be the Riverside Time Trial in Victoria, Texas. It looks like it's going to be a one-day event. The course walk is going to be 7 a.m. driver's meeting right after, and I think we start rolling around 8 a.m. And for the most part, depending on how many signups we get, which I think they already have allocated the spots that they want, but it's not quite full yet as of me making this video right now. And basically, we're going to get like 6-7 runs on this course, and I think it's like almost like 3 miles. But don't worry, in this video we're gonna go pull up the street view, and I'm gonna walk through on the street view my observations, because I've already kind of went through a nice little virtual walkthrough, and boy do I have some notes. When we do these track day inspections and doing the oil change and maintenance and checking fluids and brake pads and all the good stuff, we need to take a little bit of a look around, and we found something. We found that our fan wiring got a little toasty, so we're going to cut back some of this burnt wiring because it is crispy, and we're going to rewire that, or at least stick on a new plug, because that's not looking good. not good at all. Ugh. There we go. Deal. And I got my lighter. Don't worry, I hear you guys judging me in the comment section. Okay, after reviewing the footage, I think the black goes here. Alright, so the black wire I think went to the black wire. And after we get done with our oil change, we'll crank this thing up, get it up to temp. This heat shrink is a tight fit. Alright, got it. Now we got it. Perfect. I was put on like early times of the build. Trust me, we've definitely upgraded the heat shrink. I mean, not the heat shrink, the wiring game for sure. Make sure that don't go nowhere. All right, good. So that could be crisis averted. You know, hopefully that way we avoid electrical fire in the front, which is definitely something we don't want to have. Okay, I need to clean up all the electrical tools. But shout out to this guy surviving. Oh, there we go. It was on there. Oh, too bad. And I think we've kind of come to a point in time that we need to retire the original drain plug. So I got one off Amazon on the way. It's one that's going to have a magnet on the end, copper gasket, and all that good stuff. But we're going to use this for one more oil change. All right. Yummy. Oh. Come on. We don't have no plastic. Ugh. Whew. Yeah, we were due for an oil change. I mean, the color definitely says we needed an oil change. So, glad we're getting one now. And just to let you guys know, this is not 5,000. This is not 10,000. It's not 8,000 mile oil. This is like 2,000, 3,000 mile oil. It's just engine oil that's been put through some severe heat cycles in comparison for what you would put your daily driver, regular commuter car kind of thing. That's why it's cooked so early. Ooh, that nice green tinted oil. Alright, we got engine oil on dipstick. There we go. Got engine pressure, engine oil pressure. I wonder how many starts we're gonna have like that before it takes a toll on the engine. Probably not, because there is engine oil that's still present on the engine momentarily, maybe, but might have a little bit less. But we still got some, and we're at 27,490 miles on this car's whole build. That crate motor that was brand new from Ford was a 0 mile crate motor. It wasn't pull out. It only has 27,000 miles on it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to crank this bad boy so that we can get some engine temp into it, and then we will make sure we wired up that fan correctly. So we got to get that to 195 degrees before the radiator fan will kick on, and we'll see if we plugged in the radiator fan correctly. So I'll see you guys in a minute, or a second, or an instant. I'm gonna just cut it right here. just kicked on, and we are pulling. By the way, if you have a pulling fan, that means it's pulling the air through the radiator. If you have a pushing fan, it's going to be mounted on the front side, pushing the air. So while the car was warming up for us to see if we wired in our radiator fan correctly, I went through this whole car, front to back, all the way underneath, driver's side, passenger side, the rear end, the suspension, the front pulley system, the belts, the springs, the grease fittings. We topped off the coolant. We fixed that electrical plug. Tires look good. Brake pads look like they have plenty of life, and we just changed the oil. So I would say the car is ready for a nice little one-day track event. Now, this isn't just going to be a track prep video for just prepping the car. Now we need to go prep the driver, and let's just go see what we can do to scope out the course that we're going to be driving. So we're going to do the best we can with what we have to go off of. So I'm on my, basically what you're seeing is my iPhone, because we're going to be on Google Images. Now, on the right side of the screen, where my position is currently, that's the starting line. And we're basically pointing in the direction, and we're going to be running down the 405 Memorial Drive. We're going to do a cut back on McCrite Drive, hit that right-handed going back north on McCrite, and then we got to do a very sharp switch back to the finish line. Now, that's pretty much what we got, and I have already kind of looked through here, and if you see on the side of the road, this is a narrow 2-lane road, and there's telephone poles. There's a lot of these poles that are preventing you from preventing you from going off into the grass. So here's the first switchback. Oop, I went a little too far, but basically you got to come around this little drive right here, or maybe we're going to be cutting through right. No, we're not cutting. We're going to be right here. So we're going to cut through right here, and then we're going to shoot back north. Man, I don't know about you, but when I'm looking on the side of the road, these little guys, those little 1-foot little pylons or little things right there, that would absolutely destroy a car. Never mind hitting a tree. So we're going to come around here. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, and so basically we've made the first cut back, and we've made the left hand that kind of straightens out. It's fairly straight here. As we go down, there's more of these danger posts right off the side of the road. Okay, we go down. I mean, it's not too bad. It's definitely a 2-lane road. Looking at the road surface, it doesn't look terrible. I hope that's not loose gravel, but we'll definitely take a look, when we get closer to it. Whew, just all throughout. You got these guys, which is crazy. All right, let's keep going. We got coming up is the next sharp turn, and we're coming down over here. Of course, it's a do not enter, but hey, those rules aren't going to apply to us. This one's not too bad of a turn. It's this last one right before the finish. Ooh, look at this tight spot. Golly, if you were to come through here and you just, were a little overzealous with throttle and steering input, there are so many trees. So, got to be careful. We keep coming down here. So far, it still looks like it's paved, but the edges have loose gravel. So that's going to be something to watch out for. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I kept thinking about this in my head to hit this turn coming up. It's fairly straight. That's, I like that. That definitely, gives me warm and fuzzies. Here it comes. Up here, it's going to be this very sharp right-hander. So I'm going to go right here so that you can kind of get this perspective. It's practically a 180. Now, looking around over here, it looks like there's some room for you to kind of hit wide and just kick that rear end out, slide around this corner, and just shoot off toward here. And basically, you're going to come all the way down here, and it's roughly at this third baseline of this baseball field is the finish line. So right about here, I would say is right about here is where you're going to stop. Is your shutdown area, and then there'll be a nice big parking lot for you to turn into, for you to kind of get back into the pits. So I don't know about you guys, but it's one of those things that it is very sketchy, but it's one of those opportunities for you to do such kind of like a historical race, because we're basically, I don't know, somehow someone got permission for us to go road racing on public roads. Of course, they're going to be shut down. Of course, it is legal and we have permission and we will be allowed to do this. But man, this is wild. I mean, we're going road racing in the middle of Victoria, Texas, the middle of the city, which is, of course, at this kind of a park that they're shutting down. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Now, here's something else I'm starting to consider, because if I go look up directions to Victoria, Texas, it takes pretty much 3 hours to get there. I believe I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rent a trailer, and I'm going to trailer the Mustang down there. We're not going to make the drive because, sure, going to MSR, that's an hour drive across Houston, no big deal. I've had to get towed from Galveston back home, which is more than an hour. But this is going to be 160 miles away from home. I need to make sure I have all my bases covered, that I'm going to make it back home. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to rent a trailer so that I can tow the Mustang to the race event. I'll be able to bring tools. I'll be able to bring refreshments. I'll have the comfort of my truck to relax, get my mind, in the right place driving to, and I don't have to worry about if something were to happen either to or going back home, of a breakdown, of maybe racing and the stress kind of get, it just allows you to think about when you go racing, that maybe you could push it maybe a little harder, or have a little bit more enjoyment, a little bit less carefree, knowing that you do have a ride home and not a very expensive flatbed tow truck bill. So that's all I'm saying. Now, again, I'm pretty excited for this opportunity. I've already paid for my entry fee. I've already been approved by the organizers that I'm allowed to race. So I just want to get this video up and out. I feel like this is kind of one of those things that's very important that we, get the video out as quickly as possible. We get everybody on notice for, possible racers who want to also participate. How about audiences that want to come watch, and all that good stuff. So again, I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the like button down below. Comment your thoughts. What do you think about us road racing on public roads in the middle of Victoria, Texas? This is not a racetrack. This is a park with baseball facilities and playgrounds and things like that. Of course, it's going to be blocked off. Of course, there's going to be safety in mind. There's going to be control over, what's happening around the course. But let me know what you guys think, because this is going to be very different than us going to a racetrack. So, and if it's your first time here, why don't you think of subscribing? And again, remember, if you want to become a member, you get to see these videos as they are filmed, edited, and posted, and you get the early access to all these videos immediately. And it starts as little as $2 a month on YouTube, and you get the early access to see these kind of videos. $5 a month gets you more access, gets you personalized videos, personalized responses from me, if that matters. For the most part, I still kind of answer everybody, but you might get a little bit of extra attention with that membership. And then, of course, if you want to be a supporter of the channel, you like what's happening, you want to see more, you want to help promote and help us get to more events, do more modifications, bring our cars to the next level, or anything like that, you could become a supporter level. And that is always appreciative. We have a member now at the time of making this video. We have a supporter, and greatly appreciated of him or her. Now, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.